Thanks for staying with us here on Joe News today. Let's take you now live to the Supreme Court. My colleague Richard Kojinyako is on the ground to give us updates on the controversial ambulance case. Richard Kojinyako, what can you report?
The courtroom is now filled to the rafters. I can count a lot of military personnel that are seated. About 15 of them I can see in the corridors of the court complex here. I can also count up to about 5 of them gun-wielding military personnel with all their accoutrements. They are also stationed within the corridor. In the courtroom itself, I can see Richard Jakpa. I can see the minority leader, Casey Latifos, and a few members of parliament who are seated. The contention has been that Richard Jakpa, during the cross-examination, the Deputy Attorney General indicated that he was dismissed from the military because of persistent misconduct and exam failures, and thus has not gone down well with Mr. Richard Jakpa, who ordered the lawyers to subpoena the CDS to appear in court to answer some questions pertaining to his dismissal or the purported dismissal. The purported dismissal, he says, never came to his knowledge, and so he was never dismissed. There was no letter to that effect. He never cited any letter to that effect, and so that is why we are where we are currently. The CDS is in court, and currently, in a short while, the case will be called, and then we will hear the details whether or not Richard Jakpa was indeed dismissed from the military without any recourse to him, and so that is where we are now.
Richard Kojinyako joining us live from the Supreme Court. Let's go live and listen in as the case is about to be called.
At 1 instead of 12, so that we'll take the chief of defense staff from 12 to 1. If we think that managing the time will be a problem, we'll just take the voice and then they'll transcribe it later. So please make sure that Mr. Dr. Stevefia, I'm sorry, I don't know the title, but that witness is ready for 1 o'clock on Tuesday. All right? Okay. So please, the secretary to the military, can we have him there? So please, what's your name?
Commodore.
DW1. DW1 for A. This way.
I mentioned your full name.
I, Commodore Nana
Gyamfi. Would you like some water?
Yes.
Please, the husband says you have
Do swear by the Almighty God.
Do swear by the Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give in this court.
That the evidence I shall give this court.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth. So help me.
So help me.
If there is any other witness here to testify in this case, please go out of court, out of sight, and out of hearing. Thank you.
Sit down. You can sit and talk. You can stand. Yes.
Please state your name once again for the records of the court. Where do you live and where do you work?
I'm the military secretary.
Where do you live?
Where do you?
Yes.
I live in Ghana.
As the military secretary of the Ghana Armed Forces, what exactly do you do?
Military secretary is the Principal Staff Secretary to the Chief of the Defense Staff. As part of the jobs, I deal with the promotion.
No, just let it go. You transcribe.
As part of my job as a Principal Secretary to the Principal Staff Secretary to the CDS, I deal with promotions, appointments of officers, releases, retirements. I'm also the secretary to the number 1 service board that deals principally deal with the promotions of officers headed by the CDS and the 3 service chiefs: chief of the army staff, chief of the naval staff, the chief of air staff, and I'm the member secretary. And then the custodian, the armed officers documents.
In the course of proceedings, in this case, a document was tendered in evidence marked BF2. Can you?
BF2. Have you found?
Sure. Yeah, you can.
Yes, please.
Sir, please give it to someone else. You can give it to a staff. Thank you. Yes, please.
So, as the custodian of military documents, was this document in your custody?
No.
Yes, my lady.
Sir, please.
How do
I am told you are supposed to complete. The ones who have worked in the court for a long time. Is that not so? It's not your fault. Even I did not. Yes.
This document was in your custody.
a copy?
Yes, this document is in your custody.
A copy.
Oh, very well. Now, it was tendered in evidence by the prosecution with a cover letter from the minister of defense. It was a request made to you for this document. As a custodian of political documents.
Sir, not read it, just answer my questions. If you ever have to refer to any document, please, you have to seek permission first. Thank you. You are a lawyer by training, aren't you?
No, really.
Okay, then I forgive you. Okay. Yes, please.
I have not released any such document.
Now, the exhibit BF2 that we just looked at was tendered in evidence together with exhibit BF3, which follows BF2. In the last sentence of the first paragraph, paragraph 1 of exhibit BF3, it is there indicated the military rules under which the third accused employment with the Ghana Armed Forces was terminated. Do you see it?
Yes,
and can you confirm to the court what specific rules were referred to?
Are you looking at exhibit A?
Yes.
Use that one.
But the regulation, I want to read what is captured in the document. I think that is what you want.
Yes.
Like I said, then in that case, you should say, I want to refer to the regulation. Do you understand?
Yes, my dear. I want to refer to the regulation.
And you have permission to refer to the regulation.
To read what the paragraph 1 says, Lieutenant R.A. Jakpa is to be released from the armed forces with effect from 1st November 2007. He will be released under item 2A of the table to Article 1501 of Reference A. And service records as follows. What Article 1508(2) 15 says that?
Hold on, sir. Please hold on. Mr. Sorry. I think that before the witness can make reference to Article 15A. Now, this is not legislation as an act of parliament, is it? Is it an act of parliament? Is it? Let me see what you're writing. Is it an act of parliament? No. Because the reason why I'm asking that if it is an act of parliament, then it needs not be put in evidence. But if it is not an act of parliament, then it must properly be put in evidence before it can be referred to. Is this an act of parliament? Is it a legislative instrument? What is it? They are regulations. They are regulations. They are internal regulations. So I think that's it.
That's actually really needing to be that.
Okay.
No. Yes, I know what the AG is talking about. It is.
It is already.
Yes, it is.
As what?
It's part of the BF3. Yeah.
Please let me see.
Yes.
Let me see. So sorry, it's not part of BF3.
No, it's not part of BF3.
It just states the regulation under which, but the regulation, the wording of the regulation is not in evidence. Okay, continue, please.
Yes.
Sir, just answer the questions that I put to you. If you think you have further information, then you give it. Can you repeat your question, please, Mr. Sorry?
Quite difficult to follow all the others. But the question I asked you was that can you confirm the specific rule under which his services with the Ghana Armed Forces were terminated?
Sir, please, because it is not specific, you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And you need not read the document because it is not in evidence. Continue, please. Mr. Jude.
Then I need to because by reading what the regulation says, that is what will bring it out. Because as for two, it was released under item 2A.
That's all.
That's correct.
So if you take a look at the documents attached, there are three. Maybe too much. There are just two leaflets attached, and they make reference to the rule stated in exhibit BF3. Look, there are some two leaflets attached to exhibit BF3. Now, those are the military rules that have been summarized in those two leaflets. Is that correct? Now, the specific rule 2A referred to in paragraph 1 of exhibit BF3. Can you find it anywhere in those rules that I've just read? In the two leaflets, can you find it anywhere in the two rule 2A?
Inefficiency. 2A is inefficient. First is inefficiency through continued lack of application or interest.
So, two A is limited only to lack of application or interest, or does it cover any other?
The main heading also is inefficiency.
Yes.
The inefficiency comes with 2A, 2B, 2C.
Good.
The first one is 2A.
Good.
And they all fall under inefficiency.
Good. And what does inefficiency mean according to this rule?
That's what it has meant to you. Through lack of application.
Yes, sir. Now let's go back to the BF2. In the last sentence of paragraph 1 of exhibit
Application.
BF2, several matters are alleged against the accused. Can you read it? BF2, are you ready? Yeah, BF2. So I said the last sentence of paragraph 1. If you look at it, it starts with also is service with the colors. Good. And it indicates, makes some number of allegations against it. Can you briefly confirm to the court what those allegations are?
This paper makes reference to certain correspondence that were issued in May 2004, a special report that was written. When you go into a special report, all those information are there.
Yes. But what does this one say? Yes, the sentence, the question I asked you was, the last sentence beginning with also makes allegations against the accused person. What are those allegations? That was the question.
I'm saying that those allegations we find in a special report.
Very well. Can you kindly read what that sentence says?
On this paper?
Yes.
Also, permission.
Yes.
Also, his service for the colors has been largely unsatisfactory, marked by consistent fraudulent conduct, aggressiveness, and general indiscipline.
Now let's go back to BF3. And the attachment that talks about inefficiency through lack of application and interest. Can you find any of those allegations in exhibit BF2 listed here?
Release instructions. When we release instructions from the armed forces, the system doesn't capture offenses the soldier or the officer committed. It's only the terms and conditions under which the person is going home. That is what is captured.
So even if I agree with you that what you're saying is correct, the question is, can you find the allegations in exhibit BF2 in the rule 2A of the attachment that you have looked at? Can you find it there?
I'm just saying that we don't put offenses in release instructions. We can't find it there.
That's what I'm asking. You can't find it there. Let's go back to BF2. Now, did you find the accused copy in this?
On your paper, I can see it.
No.
But if I may explain.
Yes, sir.
This is a report that was written about an officer's conduct. When you write such reports, we don't copy him. Before this letter will be written, or such a letter will be written about an officer, the officer might have gone through interviews about certain things that he might have done, he or she might have done. So it's upon consistent, probably advice or interviews, that is when this paper is generated. So when it is generated, it has a purpose. And you look at this paper from Army Headquarters to the Chief of Staff. The Army Headquarters signed by Major General, Brigadier General Hiabulu for the Chief of the Army Staff, sending it to Chief of Staff, meaning that from the unit level, things might have happened. The service headquarters wouldn't get up and write anything about an officer and just send it to Chief of Staff. So things will come from the service headquarters consistently. Even one report from the service unit of the officer cannot even generate this paper. Upon consistent, persistent, whatever, offenses, cautioning, interviews, whatever. That is what will culminate in this kind of write-up. And the officer will not copy.
So, from your testimony you have just given, in paragraph 1 of exhibit EF2, where it indicates that the third accused has been guilty of fraudulent conduct, there will be evidence in your records of the interviews and the processes he went through in respect of this fraudulent conduct. Is that correct?
It will, let me see, my lady. It will be at the officers' unit. The details of whatever went on will be at the officers' unit. So after persistence or interviews, then the unit will write, probably through the command. So if the unit cannot even write directly to the service headquarters, they have to write through the command. If it's in command, central command, through central command to Army headquarters. So those details will be at the unit level, but will not be at NS level.
So, insofar as the accused is concerned, what unit that the third accused?
Was at two independent in Sudan. And the main umbrella is Armor Regiment in Accra.
As the custodian of records involving commissioned officers, do you have some of these documents to show the fraudulent conduct and the engagements they had with the accused person relative to this fraudulent conduct?
My lady, like I said earlier, and I think I've said it repeatedly, I'm saying that the details would not be at the next level. But any interview that probably he attends, when a report is written, a copy will be given to the secretary. When he goes to the service, a copy may even be exactly and indicate what kind of issues came up, and it will be captured in the report. So if you pick a special report, you see all those things that he went through.
Are you capable of accessing those documents from the unit level as the military secretary?
I deal directly with the CDS and the service. So in the service, that should be in a position to do it. Respectfully.
The service?
Yes, the service headquarters.
Manager of the operations.
Your witness, please, Dr. Mako.
Let me have your question.
Say just a minute. Sorry, I'm making transport arrangements. I came here prepared with vim and vigor to sit until 4 o'clock. But the way it looks, it's like I'm going to close before 1 o'clock. We have to find some work to do today. Course examination by Dr. But I see you have no questions. Honorable Attorney General, yes. Do you have any questions?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, my lady.
The subpoena you were served with required you to produce 2 documents.
Yes, that's correct, sir.
Can you tell us which documents they are?
This is my explanation. Documents, we are looking for special reports on the conduct, the May 2004 special report, which I have a copy here, and the statement of account in May 2007. I have those copies here.
I would like the registered document. I can't see myself passport. Pay this money, he doesn't want to.
It's okay. We'll put it in. But do you have any objections? Counsel.
No, CDS.
Please, people are watching and listening.
But it is the first one, the special report. I think we'll do that one by one.
Yes, let's do that one by one.
Let's have the first document, special report.
Abdulaziz, you're a fast reader. You don't do this. He's got an LLD, please. He's the only one who has an LLD in this room. Yeah, you should.
What
was the last? Yes, please.
But he says there's a document produced by the witness, subpoenaed by the third or the third accused. It
will still be marked as coming from you.
It
will still be marked as coming from the prosecution because you are tendering it to me. Or does anyone have a contrary view?
No.
The exhibit they admitted as DG. Now there are 2 documents. The first one is dated 20th May 2004, Special report on conduct of Lieutenant R.A. Jakpa, GH 2899. And then there is an attachment. The attachment is indebtedness officer.
The second document.
That's the second document.
Okay.
Okay. So we should detach this one, sisters. Exhibit EG. Special report dated, yes. A special report dated 25, 2004.
Please look at education. Is that
please hold on, we will mark it a minute.
right?
Then just we'll take a step back. Yes, please.
Right. Is that the same document referred to in SBTS as a special report? The third paragraph. Yeah. That's the same document referred to in the release from service letter. SBTS. That is the same document. That's the same. I please read the report to us.
Yes.
Special report on conduct of Lieutenant R.A. Jakpa, GH 2899. The conduct of Lieutenant R.A. Jakpa, GH 2899, in the regiment. This letter was originated by the Armored Recce Regiment in Bemaka. Over the period, is not only unacceptable, but smacks of indiscipline, lackadaisical and unprofessional. The officer appeared on my interview, that is the then commanding officer, K. Oponchiri, appeared on my interview twice. First was on 2nd October 2001, when the officer parked a military vehicle overnight at his home outside the barracks. The vehicle was detailed with a driver, but he took the vehicle, including the driver, to his house, sacked the driver to go, and left the vehicle at his home. The second interview was on 4th September 2002, when the squadron, Sunyani, the second interview was on 4th September 2002, when the officer failed to return to his unit, two independent Recce squadrons, Sunyani, after taking part in officer practical promotion exam in 2002. Squadron leaders of two Recce squadrons at different times submitted reports of indiscipline on Lieutenant R.A. Jakpa. The first report, dated 18 January 2002, was submitted by Captain Yi Ousuansa, the then squadron leader, when the officer, after attending a course in Accra, failed to return to the unit after the course. Captain B. Ga also submitted another report dated 28 June 2002 on the officer, when he again failed to return to his unit after officer's practical promotion exam in 2002. His second appearance on my interview was in connection with this. In addition to these acts of indiscipline and unprofessional behavior, the officer has been involved in a case of indebtedness to local Lebanese businessman, one Mr. Tariq Ezidin, to a tune of $400 when he served with Unifil Gamba 57. It was upon strong messages from the GANCON headquarters, the Ghana contingent headquarters, that the officer settled the amount. Prior to this, a Ghanaian local brought a case before me where items including monies were given to him from Beirut by Ghanaians residing there. Items and the monies were not delivered until he was instructed to do so. The officer was nominated to attend orientation course on RATEB ICV course at RSQ Regimental Headquarters at Reki Regiment for the period 3rd May to 28 May 2004. He attended classes for only 3 days in week 1, 1 day in week 2, and 1 in week 3. He has now been charged for award. The charge sheet and the proceedings of a summary of evidence will be submitted separately. Additionally, there are quite a number of undocumented cases of indiscipline and misconduct on the part of the officer, which both officers and men of the regiment can attest to. The conduct of the officer of Lieutenant Jakpa in the regiment, without doubt, seemed to have reached its climax, since both formal and informal interviews, informal interviews are not yielding any positive results. Respectfully submitted for your necessary action. K. Okontri, Lieutenant Colonel, Commanding Officer. And the addressees are action addressees, external action addressees. The letter was submitted, like I indicated earlier, to the command from the CO, the battalion, to the headquarters of Northern Command. Was your serving in Sudan, the Northern Command was there. Then, info addressee, they gave Army headquarters, 2 Reki squadron in Sudan, and information, Lieutenant R.A. Jakpa. These are the addressees.
So from what we just read, the third accused actually given a copy of this special report. That's all right. And that is what indicated, formulated in Exhibit PF. And that's what you indicated. That's what you indicated. You indicated, formulated in Exhibit PF. That's correct. Now, you see a statement about his indebtedness to a local Lebanese businessman in the sum of $400. That's correct. Is it the same indebtedness stated in SBP of $300?
No, my lady, they are different. The one in that the statement of account has been produced here is $300. That was a loan taken from his unit. The loan taken in 2004, and upon persistent request for me to pay, didn't pay until 2007, when that money was converted to local currency and was deducted from source at the pay office. So they are two different things, my lord.
And this $400 indebtedness, was it accrued in Ghana?
No, my lady, in Lebanon. The $400 was Lebanon. Gamba.
When the officer.
Just
so what you are saying, when the officer was on mission in Lebanon, he borrowed money from a local Lebanese businessman in Lebanon. $400, which is correct. He deported it. Now, we looked at the same special reports that you indicated. There's reference to interview a number of times. Is the interview part of a disciplinary process? Or what is it?
It is part, my lord. And I can explain.
Please.
Permission. When officers commit offenses, there are several interviews that can be conducted. Some can be verbal and some documented. First, we call you, in the system will call you, your unit commander will call you on the issue. In fact, from even the lower levels, your OC or somebody would indicate that you are doing ABC. Watch it, and if it doesn't happen, then they book you for an interview. This one is documented, then it's kept on record. Okay. The unit keeps it for a while. If nothing happens again, it can be discarded. It keeps popping up. We refer to the earlier one, and based on that, probably the unit has to write something. And the unit cannot sit at the unit level as the battalion level and take any action. Summary trials and stuff can be done, but beyond certain level, they have to seek authorization from the service headquarters, and it should come through the command. Right.
Now, your subpoena also required you to produce a second document. Can you tell the court what it is?
Yes, my lady. That is the indebtedness to the pay office, the amount of $300 that was taken in the 2004, and on persistent pushing for the payment, it didn't happen.
Why do you like to tell us that? Yes.
Anita, short. Mr. Jim will be given to them.
But it is the one that earlier came.
Well, I just have to ask you if you have any objection. Due process. Do you have any objection?
No, we have seen it earlier.
Do you have any objection? Dr. Aziz Abdulaziz, no objection.
What about the last I got
Quality wise?
Yes, yes.
It's the same. Okay. Is it 21st or 29th? The date. All right, dated, just let me just say May 2007. So this will be admitted as Exhibit BH. Exhibit BH, for the sake of the record, is a document entitled Indebtedness Officer Lieutenant R. Jakpa GH/2899, dated May 2007, and it's submitted as Exhibit BH.
Can you please read the very
Indebtedness.
Yes.
Let me see.
Yes, sir.
I'm on Recce Regiment. Wonderful. May 2007. Indebtedness Officer Lieutenant R. Jakpa GA2899. Lieutenant R. Jakpa was granted a loan of $300 from the unit PR in 2004. The money was granted to the officer of informal and formal interviews between 2005 and 2007. On his indebtedness, the officer has now confirmed his inability to repay the loan. The matter is of serious concern to the commanding officer. Firstly, because the officer's name regularly reflects as a debtor in the unit's financial records and audit reports. Secondly, whereas other ranks who benefit from the same loan facility repay on time, Lieutenant R. Jakpa unfortunately cannot do so. To address this problem, the CO Regiment requests authority for the city equivalent of the $300 to be deducted in full from Lieutenant R. Jakpa's salary in June 07 and paid to Regiment PRI account to put an end to the shameful and regrettable situation. Respectfully submitted for action, R.Y. Odo, Lieutenant Colonel, Commanding Officer. And the action addresses are Headquarters Sergeant Command, Info, General Headquarters, Defense Financial Controller, Army Headquarters, and FPO.
Right. Thank you very much. Now, paragraph 2 of Exhibit D8 refers to a series of formal and informal interviews with the third accused, President Jakpa. Is that not correct? That means he was also informed about the situation of the detectives.
That is correct. From the report, is correct.
That's correct. Now, if you look at the document SPPF2, you see that it was released pursuant to a letter written by the Minister for Defense. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You have that letter, Minister for Defense letter in your records. No. I'm saying that the exhibit BF2, which they were released to the Attorney General formally by the Minister for Defense. Are you aware of it?
I have a copy of this paper here. I haven't given it to the
So the question is whether you are aware that the Minister for Defense released those documents to the Attorney General.
I'm aware.
To a formal letter.
I'm aware.
Now, from what you have testified about so far,
Who is it? If you do it again, I'll let you go away.
From what you have testified about so far in this honorable court, would you say that the third accused was honorably released from the Ghana Armed Forces?
My lady, the article that was quoted in the release instructions, it was not honorably. It was released, but not honorably. Can I explain something? When you want, we have people who go out honorably and to be captured in the document. We have release instructions. Officer so and so is being released honorably. If it's not captured, it's just released.
Now, again, do you know whether the third accused was ever the officer commanding in the military unit in Sudan? Was he ever the officer commanding the military unit in Sudan?
No, I know of my further rank. He can be officer commanding. Officer commanding OCs, as we call it, for my captains. And they are second in command are lieutenants. So probably when the OC, the boss is not there, the deputy acts, is acting OC. He can call himself acting OC. If it's not published, it's something that anybody can call himself, my boss is not acting this. But on paper, we have what you call troop leader for regiment. If it's army, the main infantry unit is platoon commander. By his unit, it is troop leader. That is all. The boss is not there, he says OC. That is, people do that, but not captured in any document.
Not captured in any document.
That I've seen.
Lady, that'll be all for you.
I'm sure you don't have any more questions.
Maybe they who's appealing, you don't have a
No, please. I'm just going to say, I come in peace.
I'm not going to say it.
You want to leave? And I'm asking you.
No, I just
something fell.
Yes, but that's right. To examine this after.
Any re-examination. Let me get it. Commodore, we are very grateful you are listening. So the witness is discharged. Mr. Bentley. Mr. Bentley.
Yes, fine.
It's a big post. Well done. Anyways, so now let's agree that you are bringing. You still need the chief of defense staff.
Yes, we do. I will be simply submit that, in a circumstance, as regards the nature of surveillance issued on the witnesses, the CDS is not a material witness at all. Because in the same document,
you may step down, we are done.
Thank you. Thank you, my lady.
the subpoenas were exactly the same document was required to be produced by both officers. The custodian of records has come into the box, tendered the same documents as the ash presence on them. My submission is that the CDS, with all respect, is not a material witness. It should not be invited by the court. It amounts to presentation of cumulative evidence, which is prohibited by rule.
The reason why the CDS should not come testify based on his determination that because we subpoena, the subpoena is of two forms. There's a testificandum aspect of it, and there's a takeover aspect of it. So I don't see the basis of which says that because some documents were attended.
Like I said, let's not fight. Honorable Attorney General, in this criminal proceedings, we have someone who is facing rather serious charges. And if the person thinks that he needs the CDS to be able to make his case, let's allow him. I think he should be allowed to call the CDS if that is what he says will help him. Now, like I said, judging by the evidence that has been put in today, and you have recognized the testificandum aspect of it, what viva voce evidence is left should not take more than an hour for all sides. So let them bring the CDS. Let him be given 1 hour for evidence in chief cross-examination on both sides. And then, God willing, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, the next scheduled witness will be, you said, Mr. Segbefia. I'll make sure he is ready. Make sure. If Mr. No, I don't want people to be doing their best. I don't like when men say things like doing their best. We'll see what the Lord will do, all those things. No, because it's not fair enough. So make sure you produce that witness. If Mr. Segbefia is not here, like I indicated the other day, you have listed 8 people. If you are not able to produce Mr. Segbefia, produce somebody else. If you don't produce the people, somebody, it will be nice.
When a subpoena is sent to somebody, it is by the court order the person appears. We don't produce the people.
Well,
I don't have those powers.
You see, you have. So are you saying? Let me make sure I'm quite clear. Are you saying that if Mr. Segbefia does not appear, then it is because he has himself disregarded the subpoena of the court?
So we will.
Is that what you are saying?
No.
Okay. What
if he doesn't appear, you will have a. He should come and explain why he refused to appear.
Please, let's look at your schedule of subpoenas and let's look at how we're supposed to appear on any day. All right. Then we can plan. Sisters, let's do a case completion plan. That way we can plan. Okay.
I guess
he's coming back on Tuesday.
My lady, the information that I have indicates that the CDS for the next 6 days only will not be available, not just for the next 6 days.
Okay.
So probably
In that case, for the next 6 days.
For the next 6 days from today.
Counting from today.
From today.
Today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Right?
Yes.
So then the following Thursday is what day? 20. All right. So the CDS will appear on the 25th. Put up a case of mission plan. And not to worry. The CDS will appear on the 25th. So the next Tuesday is 23rd. Tuesday is 23rd. Right. Let's look at your subpoenas. Where are the other subpoenas?
But we have one for our secretary.
Come again.
We have one for our secretary.
Sisters. I want to understand this. Let's do it now. So for Tuesday, 23rd. Tuesday, 23rd July, 12 noon. The schedule of subpoenas, Mr. Alex, Dr. Alex.
Yes,
Right. Thank you. Don't remove them, just tag them and bring it. How many documents is he coming to tender?
Or he should be justified.
He's not coming to tender anything. The next one, 25th, will be the CDS. At 12 noon.
Yes.
Right.
And you can take the.
And then in addition, Becky, please, where are the subpoenas? If you don't have them,
You can take the controller and the company
on the same day. The current controller and accountant general.
Yes. The fact is, the controller
Do you have your subpoenas? Find ours. Sisters, what are the subpoenas? So what we'll take the CDS and the controller and accountant general. Which controller and accountant general have you described in the subpoena? The name. What is his name, please? Mr. Jakpa, go, you come to you. Please go and see Mr. Jakpa. You can't get it. Copy, get it. Copy so that you check it. Check that one and see if subpoenas and that's what. Please go to your client and talk to him.
The former one.
The former one.
Yes.
Please, the name.
That's KK. Former deputy, sorry.
Former deputy, the former deputy controller and accountant general, by name
KK.
Mr. Andrew KK. Kofi. Hey, sorry. You don't know how to pronounce Justice Kofi's name.
It's a spelling I didn't get right. KUFI.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what.
All right. Yes. So that will be it. That will take us to 25th July. Then after that, what will be the next Tuesday? 25th July is Thursday. Then the next. The next Tuesday will be the 30th of July.
Yes.
And who are you listing for the 30th of July? Professor Zakaria.
Yes.
Is it ambulance?
Yes.
The person who came to testify here for ambulance, what is it called? Region. Okay. So that the 30th. Will be Professor Zakaria. Good. He's doing tax. Professor Zakaria. Right. Then we go to October. Let's complete the case of Bishop. So we go to October.
May we get the 30th of the stats?
No, let's do it now. Or let's do it now. Counsel, this is something we should have done even before you opened your defense. It is 1 year behind schedule. Now the first day of 10 is 7th October. That's the first day of 10. Hopefully the call will be on the 4th. The 5th will be the Sunday, the beginning of yes, the first day of 10 is the 7th of October, which brings the first day that we will reconvene will be the 8th of October. 8th October. Who are you calling on the 8th of October?
Dr. Lema.
Which Dr. Lema? The one who was here and was
I don't know him.
Was seriously said.
I don't know anything personal. I'll look at my documentation.
Counsel.
Yes, ma'am.
As for Dr. Nimana, he has already testified and has been discharged. He has already testified in this case.
Yes,
I'm saying no, you can't call a witness twice.
He was a party. He testified as a party.
Counsel, he has already testified. And you have concluded your cross-examination of Dr. Nimana. I'm talking to you. Look at my face. I'm looking down. I'm saying.
I'm looking at my list of it.
Okay. Dr. Nimana has already been testified and has already been cross-examined by counsel for A3. The only person whose cross-examination was not concluded was the prosecution. And even then, yes, you finished. You were not coming at the time, Abdulaziz. You sent Yes.
Something was so cross established.
No, it was the state which was still cross-examining. It was the state. So you are done. So as for Dr. Animala, I'm not going to allow it. Call the next.
There is a note account in the proceedings in which my lady says there will be a determination as to what to do with his evidence.
What weight to give to the evidence? Because the prosecution did not conclude. Because the prosecution did not finish the cross-examination. Your side, you are done with Dr. Animan.
That's not what I think.
Counsel,
that's fine.
What is my record?
It's the court record.
That's what I'm saying. It's my record. I was the one who captured the record. And I clearly remember, you are going to even make me lament. I clearly remember what I said. Now move on to the next. Dr. Animana is not coming back here. I'm even praying about healing fast. Next. Mr. Mr. Jakpa wants to talk.
Since you would allow us to call Dr. Nana, would I kindly ask the court to complete this thing on the churches? So I advise myself on the court's position on this matter, and then we can complete the rest of
the court has no position. I have already told you that the witness has been left. There's no position. Please, just let's do the case completion plan. I am telling you, and Mr. Jakpa, please, when you close, you can go and deal with this. Let's deal with this thing. I am saying that this case completion plan by the rules should have been done even before Mr. Jakpa started testifying.
That is fine. Right.
So now that we have not done it, and we have deferred it for so long, let us do it now. The whole interest of having case management is to make sure that you can have a plan. You can notify those who have to be notified. Then they wouldn't be asking for 6 days out of the jurisdiction to make themselves available. That is the reason. So please, let's continue. You have already filed the subpoenas. Tell us the order in which you want to call them. That's all.
Very well. So my next supreme witness will be the Public Procurement Authority.
Mr. Salas Mensa.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Samuel Salas Mensa. October the 8th. So you make sure you issue hearing notices. That's it. No, it's not Silas. I think it is Samuel. Please, the name you have here is corrected. Salas.
I believe that since indeed we are far behind schedule and we are trying to complete the case as efficiently as possible. Every week must be material. I did the only for comment offense in this matter was actually against the second accused who has been discharged. There is no procurement offense against either the first or the third accused. Without which I do not see the importance of in this matter, causing of charges and unlawful damage, causing damage. I say that if there was any accused person who who requires the testimony of the administrator, it will have been second accused. I did not find the third accused.
Honorable Attorney General,
Yes, ma'am.
maybe you may not know this. I have a case in which my dear friend that disappears, which he has listed 61 witnesses. We finished with 20, or we are about to go to it. We finished with DW20. And I'm sure that a lot of people who would observe the opportunity given to call so many witnesses will want that. I feel that when someone has indicated, please, when someone has indicated, and these are the people I think will help me put up a defense. Let them come. Let them come. If they had filed the witness statement, and if I had read the witness statement, and then he made an observation that the evidence is needlessly cumulative or irrelevant, that would be another matter. But this is a person who is being held for causing financial loss to the state, and the bill that might include some kind of circumvention of due process, which I think they should be given a chance to do what they have to do. If, on the other hand, they fail to file serve hearing notices or do things to make sure that those witnesses would attend court, that is a different matter. So that is the reason why I want us to list all the witnesses. And I want them to have notice of what dates all those witnesses will come.
Again, we don't refer them. We have the fact that given the data of witnesses that have been called,
maybe we can call 2 a day.
So, and then also, witness statement has to be filed for each of them.
No.
Yes.
Let's not.
But how will the police determine whether the evidence is related or not?
We are looking at only 8 witnesses. For 8 witnesses, if they call 2 a day, that is 4 days. It's nothing. It's just 4 days. If they fail to call the witnesses, on the other hand, that would be a different matter. But calling 2 witnesses a day is just 4 days. It can be done. So let's go up. For now, we have how many? Please have patience. Have patience. So we will have Dr. Segbefia and Dr. Segbefia is 1. CDS and Mr. Kufe, that is 3. Professor Zakaria is 4. Mr. Silas Mensah and another person will be 6. Then the next time, 8 or 9. That will be it. Whatever happens, we should be done. Hopefully by the end of October. But now I don't want to give dates, because if I give dates, my house people will hear and make it basa. So let's do 2 a day, because I have observed that the supreme witnesses, their evidence is not known. So we can easily do 2 a day. So Professor Zakaria, 30th July, he should come along with somebody else. Is that possible?
Yes, Madam Julia.
Madam Julia, Stanbic Bank. She's called Julia what? Asante. Madam Julia Asante of Stanbic Bank. So that makes it. Then Mr. Silas Mensah is coming with who else? Yes.
The Honorable Speaker of Parliament.
Now, Council, I see that, wait, Madam Joycelyn Napo Kwali Aziz. Where does she also work?
She works with procurement, but she was specifically designated regarding.
So who do you want? You want Silas Mensah or Madam Aziz?
Silas Mensah.
Okay. So then, the 8th of October, the Honorable Speaker of Parliament and Mr. Silas Mensah.
Yes.
I think we'll take the Honorable Speaker of Parliament first, because Mr. Silas Mensah, he can't come and wait for Mr. Silas Mensah. So we'll take the Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Honorable Magby first, before we take Mr. Silas Mensah on the same day, because the Speaker has to have priority. Yeah?
No.
So how many is that?
Yes, right honorable.
It's right honorable. Please, it's right honorable. I'm sorry, no, it's not. Is this how it's RT? Is this spelled this right? It's RT. Yeah, RT Honorable Speaker of Parliament. Is that all?
That's those we found. That's what we have.
No, that is all you have. I have already directed you that if you want to do anything, you should end it. This thing about that is all we filed. It is not something you qualify. That is all.
Oh, madam, we actually filed 2 other.
Good. Who else is there? Ishia is showing you, so listen to him.
We have Brigadier General Biziblim, Ayorum. Ayorum. In that case, we'll call him earlier. Before it's Professor and then right on.
When did you file that?
Yes.
That
We filed it yesterday.
when?
This morning. Yeah.
Please, counsel. Is he part of the original 8?
No.
Where is this one coming from? Don't come and surprise me. Where is this one coming from?
Yes,
For 3 months now, you have told us that you have 8 witnesses.
Yes,
you don't, no, please. You don't just come in and file something this morning and say, I have another witness. You can't do that.
My lady, we are private people and we are doing
I have heard you.
Case.
We have a plan.
Yes.
But this thing that you filed this morning, I'm not going to admit it.
Very well.
I'm not going to admit it. You have already told us you have 8 witnesses. After telling us you have 8 witnesses, you filed 2 more. That brings it to 10.
And the information has just come to us. And we've been doing private investigations by ourselves. So if we get that information, we should bring it to the attention of the courts.
I see.
And I'm
so how then do you even know whether this person will cooperate or not? You haven't even made any attempt
but I'm not
to
sure
even file a witness statement or anything. Because I remember somebody like Mr. Segefia, you actually brought an application, or was it you, that you wanted witness summons? It was you. Was it not you?
That is so.
Please, counsel, you can't be pulling witnesses out of a hat like a magician.
We have indicated the kind of testimony we want, and from that particular case. And so, and I just told the court that the court has an obligation to give us all of that opportunity.
I have given you more than enough opportunity.
You
have, my friend, you have already filed a witness statement. This person is not part. I'm not going to admit it unless you bring a proper application and show compelling reasons why such Ayalingo, Mr. Ayalingo has to be here.
Oh, no, Malady.
Come again. It's not called Ayalingo.
I don't know.
I'm not lamenting. I actually know an Ayalingo. Are you laughing as if I don't know how to pronounce R and L? No, that person is not listed. I'm dealing with the people who have been listed.
Very well, Malady.
Now continue. Let's look at when people will file with their as closing submissions. And then we'll deal with the tentative date of judgment today. So that's the last semester on the 8th of October will end it. Give me one backup date. One backup date will be the 10th of October. 10th of October 2024. Then you will have 3 weeks after that to file your respective written submissions, written closing submissions, and you file simultaneously. Whose phone is that? Mr. Apache, is that my voice I'm hearing on your phone? Are you sure? It sounded like my voice. Where is Daniel? Let him check. Because I hear people are fond of recording anyhow. Written submissions should be filed by yes, 31st October. By 31st October. What is them? Daniel, please check with the faithful friend, Osukwachi. I heard a voice. I want to check that it's not mine. November. Now, as I have always instructed you, which some of you have always also failed to abide, this witness state this case completion plan. This case completion plan is going to be printed now. You are supposed to sign it as the rules say. That is the direction of the court. Those of you who decide not to sign it, that one too is up to you.
Alicia, I realized that you never got our input in making this case conclusion.
No.
You never did. You never asked us, for example, how much time.
No, I did not, because I was said yesterday at 2:30 p.m.
My lady, we had this morning because it was not served personally on the institution.
Let's not fight. Let's not fight. They said that this is going to put our plan out of here. We're expecting that Mr. Sorry will be able to call 2 witnesses today. Because these 2 witnesses are not in the original plan. And then we could go back to our plan of 8. Was this or 6? Is it 6 or 8? That is 8. So these 2 were not in the original plan. The plan was for me, I was thinking that I would take the 2 witnesses today and then we could go back to our 8. So this is only going to cause us to have to ask the Chief of Defense Staff to come in on Tuesday, God willing. Okay, Tuesday, God willing. Do you have you listed some other persons for Tuesday? Have a seat, please, Mr. Sorry, Brigadier Jakpa. It's okay, I'll just call you Mr. Jakpa. Because yes, but let him come in on Tuesday at 1 instead of 12, so that we'll take the Chief of Defense Staff from 12 to 1. If we think that managing the time will be a problem, we'll just take the voice and then they will transcribe it later. So please make sure that Mr. Dr. Segafia, I'm sorry, I don't know the title, but that witness is ready for 1 o'clock on Tuesday. All right. Okay. So please, the secretary to the military. Can we have him there? So please, what's your name?
Commodore.
DW1. DW1 for A3. This way.
I mentioned your full name.
I, Commodore Nana
Would you like some water? Please, if you have anyone.
Do swear by the Almighty God
Do swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give in this court
that the evidence I shall give this court
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me.
So help me.
If there is any other witness here to testify in this case, please go out of court, out of sight, and out of hearing. Thank you.
Sit down. You can sit and talk. You can stand and talk, whichever. Yes.
Please state your name once again for the records of the court.
Commodore.
Where do you live and where do you work?
I'm the military secretary with Ghana Forces.
Where do you live?
Yes. I live in Ghana.
As the military secretary of the Ghana Armed Forces, what exactly do you do?
Military secretary is the principal staff secretary to the chief of the defense staff. As part of the jobs, I deal with the promotion.
But, no, just let it go. You transcribe when you are done.
As part of my job as the principal secretary to this principal staff secretary to the CDS, I deal with promotions, appointments of officers, release, retirements. I'm also the secretary to the number one service board that deals principally deal with the promotions of officers headed by the CDS and the three service chiefs, chief of the army staff, chief of the naval staff, the chief of air staff, and I'm the member secretary. And then the custodian, the armed force officers documents.
In the course of proceedings, in this case, a document was tendered in evidence marked BF2. Can you?
Exhibit BF2. Have you found?
Sure. Yeah, you said.
Yes, please.
Sir, please give it to someone else. You can give it to a staff. Thank you. Yes, please.
So, as the custodian of military documents, was this document in your custody?
No.
Yes, my lady.
Sir, please.
How do
I
I?
am told you are supposed to complete. The ones who have worked in the court for a long time. Is that not so? It's not your fault. Maybe I did not. Yes.
This document was in your custody. Is that so?
A copy.
Yes, this document is in your custody.
Copy.
Oh, very well. Now, it was tendered in evidence by the prosecution with a cover letter from the Minister of Defense. Was a request made to you for this document as the custodian of the documents?
Sir, not read here, just answer my questions. If you ever have to refer to any document, please, you have to seek permission first. Thank you. You are a lawyer by training, aren't you?
No, really.
Okay, then I'll forgive you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yes, please.
I have not released any such document.
Now, the exhibit BF2 that we just looked at was tendered in evidence together with exhibit BF3, which follows BF2. I'll show it. In the last sentence of the first paragraph, paragraph 1 of exhibit BF3, it is there indicated the military rules under which the third accused employment with the Ghana Armed Forces was terminated. Do you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you confirm to the court what specific rules were referred to?
Are you looking at exhibit BF3?
Yes, ma'am.
Use that one.
But the regulation, I want to read what is captured in the document. I think that is what you want.
Like I said, then in that case, you should say, I want to refer to the regulation. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I want to refer to the regulation.
And you have permission to refer to the regulation.
To read what the paragraph 1 says, Lieutenant R.A. Jakpa is to be released from the armed forces with effect from 1st November 2007. He will be released under item 2A of the table to article 1501 of reference A. And his service records as follows. What article 1508(2) 15 says that?
Hold on, sir. Please hold on. Mr. Sorry. I think that before the witness can make reference to article 15A. Now, this is not legislation as an act of parliament, is it? Is it an act of parliament? Is it?
It is not.
Let me see. Is it an act of parliament? No. Because the reason why I'm asking that if it is an act of parliament, then it needs not be put in evidence. But if it is not an act of parliament, then it must properly be put in evidence before it can be referred to. Is this an act of parliament? Is it a legislative instrument? What is it?
They are regulations.
They are regulations. They are internal regulations. So I think that's it.